Hi, everyone. My name is Dodie Gershon, and welcome to MIMC's Community Chats. MIMC's Community Chats is a new program by Moderate Income Management Company, where we showcase our wonderful community by interviewing different nonprofit and small business leaders. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Kapu Patel, who runs a local photography company. Thank you for joining us at MIMC Community Chats, Kapu. How are you?
Great, and thank you for inviting me. It is so wonderful to meet you, and I'm happy to be here. And you really do an excellent job highlighting the local community, and I'm honored to be part of this program. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I was interested in the story of how you became a photographer, because you really had like almost two other careers.
Yes, one for sure, but it expanded into several arms of that same career. Yeah, so I'm an immigrant to this country. I came here to go to graduate school and studied in the field of pharmacy. I have a PhD in pharmaceutical sciences, and I worked in the pharma field for many, many years, either in corporations like Big Pharma, and also started my own pharma company with a partner, and then did some consulting in the pharma field. So, but that's my past. And let's just say through an inner drive or some calling or existential crisis, whatever you want to name it, the universe guided me that, you know, photography is my path and I love what I do. So here I am.
I think that's wonderful. And I read that you do a lot of different community-oriented items. So, for example, I thought I read somewhere that maybe you took pictures of families in crisis.
Yes. So so there's several initiatives that we undertake. We see the need in the community and then we work accordingly. So when COVID hit, this beautiful studio that you just see, I had brand new built this studio, and just about that time, and we had to close the doors. And we were closed for about good 4 months. And so we took this initiative that was called our front doors are closed, but our hearts are open. And we went and did a whole bunch of front porch projects where we photographed people across the community in the entire Mercer County, Middlesex County. And the folks enjoyed being not only photographed, but along with that, we actually did a storyboard about them as to what is the silver lining that they're looking for. Because, you know, this is clearly and continues to be a challenging situation for us as a nation and as a community. But we, you know, to find hope, you have to find that silver lining. So we were interviewing these families whom we were photographing, asking them about just looking for that one positive ray and sharing that along with their photos with the community. And then we put a call out to basically the entire community and say, help us raise funds for a home front, because, you know, we do have roofs over our heads, and there are many who were suffering who did not. And so we were able to raise over $5,000 for that initiative.
Very nice.
So that was good. Way to kind of bring the community together through storytelling.
Did you find one thing? Go ahead.
And then we expanded that into small businesses. So once the community stuff was over, we went to small businesses who had brick and mortar businesses. We went outside their doors, told their stories. And interestingly, there the idea was everybody was, and now pivot is considered such a not to be used word, but everybody was changing how they were looking at their businesses. And the thought was, you looked at your business in a different way. I looked at it in a different way. Maybe the third person would be inspired by us if they were facing challenges. So we moved it to our, what we call the Stronger Together campaign.
I love both names. I think both names are wonderful kinds of campaigns. Did you find that there was a common theme when you wanted people to look for hope or look for a silver lining? Was there one thing that brought them to that silver lining? Was there one thing that made it all seem a little bit better?
I think once you start talking to, when we started talking to families, they universally, everybody came to the same place that they were always running, rushing, running, rushing, running, rushing. And so they were not observing the small things that brought joy. So, I would talk to a mom who would say, my daughter used to submit all these videos that she would create or musical pieces that she would create, and she would submit them to school, and we'd get to hear her perform or play. But now that she's doing this at home, I'm observing her and I'm seeing how intense she's in that. So those little things that we take for granted because we're just walking past our family members, those are the things that, and every family had a unique story, but that's the commonality, is to slow down and see something beautiful within their unit.
And were you able to capture any of that in photography? Because photography is one of those things where the eye of the photographer really, if it's a good eye, can tell a story. They say a picture is 1,000 words. There's got to be something that you saw or divinely were given with photography. What is it that you look at through the lens that you want people to know what you see?
I think I'm going to flip this around a little bit, right? So I want people to see themselves. That's the way I approach photography. And a lot of times clients would come to me and say, well, I'm not photogenic, or I say there is no such thing as photogenic, or I don't like to look at myself in the picture. And my job really, technical stuff and all that is great, but that's probably a minuscule part of what I do as a photographer, is to provide them with a transformational experience where they can be uniquely, authentically themselves. And when you're so comfortable and so joyous, that the picture absolutely radiates that out. And so when we work with our clients, we've spent a good number of hours with you, either on the phone or through Zoom. If you come to us as a family, we've spoken to every single family member individually, that we get to know what it is that makes you a family unit. If you come to me for business branding, it's the same story, right? I want to know, what is your business? Who are you? Not only who are you serving, but what is driving you? What is that passion? Where do you want to go at the next level? Because that's what I would like to capture in your portraits. And then it becomes easy.
So it doesn't sound so easy, honestly, because sometimes not understanding what you are and how you're doing it, I shared with you before, even our company, who's been around so many years, had to go through a transformation, and we're still figuring out who we are 60 years into it. So it's very, everything comes around. If someone wanted to learn more about your initiatives or more about your business in particular, what's the best way to get to reach out to you or to learn more about you?
So you can go to my website. It's kapupatelphotography.com, and there is contact information there. I love talking to people. So there's my phone number. Please feel free to call me, because the more I know about you, the better I can serve you. And that's really the way to do it. And we have an exciting team of people here who help out. We actually have an initiative right now that's going on for women over 40. And this year, we're intending to photograph 40 women over 40 and share their powerful stories. And we're hoping you'd be one of them.
Absolutely.
And we intend to do an exhibit and a coffee table book telling the story of women over 40.
That's very cool. You see, those are all really, really important things. And you're right. I think what you said about the pandemic, about people missing the little things in life, watching your child play the instrument, or doing those things. I think people have skipped through that. I think one of the things that this pandemic actually made us do was slow down and look at the things in front of us. So I agree. And I think that the people you interviewed probably felt the same way. So that's very, very cool. Not thought about often, but very, very cool. Thank you very much for joining me today. It was a real pleasure to get to learn more about Kapu Patel photography and your involvement with the community. I want everyone to go out to kapupatel.com, photography.com.
KapuPatelphotography.com.
There you go. And go out and learn about some of these initiatives. And hopefully people will join us again for the next MIMC community chats. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me. Have a great day.